Hey, this is Blaster out here. Completely missed the T in my name. Blaster Toad. Haha, that's me. Yeah. Welcome to a follow-up on the Angel video. So the Weeping Angel 2020. We are going to be doing an extension video because we've got some questions. We've got Armando Limas. Hopefully that's not too horribly mispronouncing of your name. Like to know how to do an AI respawn type. So where the character's walking around and then like the lights go out and the AI just jumps in behind him or in front of him. That is something we can probably do. Likewise, tutorial on how to grab a flashlight. Really super simple, just pick up of a single item. So we're gonna do a key and a flashlight, or at least we're gonna try to. Okay. Then we've got from Crowy the Crow. Can you explain how to use the dark boolean? So of course I let him know soon. I felt that was a good response for the video topic, right? So we are going to extend the dark boolean into a trigger box. You can set an area set to dark. Then over on Discord, we have Gimme asking, what is with the spaghetti? Well, Gimme. Answer to that is, I've been working on some really brainy stuff that I had a 5-hour video about last week. And it hurt my face and my brain. And then I've been cleaning it up, so it went from this to this. See how easy it was to answer that question? I like that question. Anywho, also we have C&D Cardboard Games, in brackets Christian, is looking for some random stuff. So what we're gonna do is we're going to try to make a key and make a flashlight that you can pick up. Okay? The flashlight will then be usable. The key will just be a flag to let you exit a door. Then we'll also have the dark boolean being used and the flashlight boolean being used that we set in the component. And maybe we'll get to the AI that just jumps up behind you. So I've started building up the level, as you can see, as it used to just be that single room and a wall. I've built it out a little bit. However, with the gray BSP brushes, it's not the easiest to see. I'm gonna do quickly make some new folder for materials. And we're gonna make some materials. We're gonna make a new material for the floor. Actually, we're gonna call this M_basic color. And I'm just gonna scroll that down so it's actually visible. We are going to, off base color, have a constant con3 vector. We're gonna right click, promote to or convert to a parameter, call that color. And then I want a constant. I'll Control C, Control V for metallic and for roughness. My metallic, I'm gonna right click and convert to parameter, call it metal. And a roughness, convert to parameter, rough. And let's get rid of the, oh my god, not comma. You guys know punctuation marks. I'm dumbing right now. Anywho, now that we've got a basic color, we're gonna right click, create an instance. So this is a copy of this that we can change. I'm gonna call this mi_floor color. And our floor, let's make our floor kind of a dark. So we don't want the floor metallic. It will be pretty rough, so like a 0.8 roughness. 0.6 roughness? Yeah, so it's just got a little bit of sheen. And let's make it like a gray. Cool. Now I'm gonna click the floor. I'm going to then, because it, oh no, this bit I can just drop in. Ah, there we go, floor. It says other bit that I need to do something else. Then I'm going to duplicate my floor color, and I'm going to call this one wall color. Okay, MI wall color, and for our wall color, we're gonna go like an interesting beige color. Because why not? Make it like this, like goldy, beige, somewhere in there. But then it'll be like slightly metallic and a little bit shiny. Yeah. I don't know why, but I didn't do that. Then I am going to grab all my level bits of box brush. I've got a couple of them. Then I am going to click a face, then Shift B to select. Oh, I'd only select the faces for that one. Damn you! Okay, so I gotta go through each of these. Shift B, drop a color on it. Well, I thought I could do it all as a group, so I'm sorry you have to watch me color things now. Isn't this just the most exciting video you've ever watched? What happens if I select multiple like that and then Shift B? Do I get all their faces? Okay, so if I select them from the list, I don't. But if I select them in the world, I can. Okay, that makes this better. Just clickety-clicking through all the thingamajoggers. And then Shift B to select all their faces. And... oh! Yeah, we bastard! Okay, what if I select that thing's face now? Nope, so it won't... Narg. So, is it only like if I click so many of them? Oh, because I misclicked on the ground, and because I misclicked the ground, I'm no longer selecting faces. Ah, oh. See? That's what's happening. So I got a face, got a face, got a face, 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 face. No faces, and then that's what's happening. Okay. I go through and click them. They have faces. Then Control B. Ooh. Shift B. Sorry. I don't want all the engine content. Right. And then I want to. Come on. There we go. So we're just gonna do this quickly for the walls. Sorry, if I knew this was gonna take so long, I would have pre-done it like when I did the walls. But yeah, we want to be able to see something on here while we have our guy running around in here. Okay, blah 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 blah. Let's select all the walls. Be nice walls. Let me select your faces and do you all as like one. Arrgh! Damn you, walls! You betray me as soon as I go to move my camera. I'm just selecting too many, so I have to select fewer. Shift B. Drag out colors. Come on. Drag out a color. There we go. Shift B. Select all the faces. Because otherwise you just paint one face at a time. Because otherwise what happens is like, I want this color. Oh, it only did the one face. Which can be cool for some things, but not exactly what I'm looking for here. Seriously? Why did you not select when I click you? Piece of crap. Oh, well, we're almost done. Almost done. But, there we go. Woo! We have walls! Nice. Okay. What we want to do is on our blueprint here, a blueprint folder, we're going to make a new folder. And I like to call this one underscore modes and instance. And that way it's always at the top, regardless of what I call it. Sometimes I call it core, sometimes I call it instances of modes or modes and instance. But we want to go in here and make a new blueprint class. And we want GM or game mode, and we're going to call this GM underscore Angel 2020 for the name of the tutorial. That's angle, isn't it? Oh well, good enough. We are then going to go to edit, project settings. We are going to want to select our maps and modes. Game mode base is going to be GM Angel 2020. Cool. We're now going to get rid of our player that we put in the level. Okay, so we've got our player in there that we have auto-possessing. We're going to delete our player. Instead, we're going to go find our player start in our nice list here. And we're going to put our player start somewhere. I am going to put my player start over in this corner. I don't want him looking in the corner. I want him to like be looking outwards when he spawns. Something like that. Okay. Then I am going to do a new folder, and I will call this one spawn, and I want to do a blueprint class actor, and I'm going to call this BP underscore spawn box. There we go. And our spawn box, gonna add a component. Gonna add a box collision. And compile and save. That is all. Now I'm gonna take that spawn box. And if I hit end here, oh, it goes in the floor. Lame. Okay. So. What we're gonna do? Yeah, we're just gonna do that. Now we're just gonna drag them up in the air a bit then. Because basically what I want is it to be just above the ground a little bit. Okay, cool. Then with Alt, I'm going to click and drag, and that makes a duplicate, and I'm going to put one over here. I'm going to Alt and drag and put one over here, and basically I'm just putting a bunch of these spawn boxes around, because we are going to randomly choose one to spawn our key in. So just gonna have a bunch of these spawn boxes all about the place. Just like that. Sure, that seems like enough. Cool. So then we are going to have to, I'm going to, under our character, make 2 new blueprints. Okay. An actor, and I'm going to call this BP underscore key. And then I'm going to have another actor, BP underscore flashlight. There we go. Okay. Cool. And then we're going to right click, and under blueprints here, we are going to add a blueprint interface. This will let all our things talk to each other. And I want to call this I for interface underscore interactable. Sure. That doesn't look like it's spelled correctly, but I am okay with that. Now we're going to open up BP flashlight and open up BP key. So we've got them up here. And on each of them, we're going to go to class settings. And under implemented interfaces, we're going to add I underscore interactable. And then same thing over here. Class settings, add I underscore interactable. Beautiful. Compile and save everything. Cool. We're on the flashlight right now. Great. Let's just quickly make a flashlight. I'm just gonna do some horrible programming art. Gonna lock my scale to each other. Call that 0.1, 0.2 maybe, 0.15 right in the middle. And I'm going to unlock it, and I'm going to, on my Z, make it 0.3, 0.4. Something like that. Cool. Then I want to add a cone. I'm gonna, which way is our, that's our forward, okay. I'm gonna flip that cone that away, move it on out, scalar, scale it on the X. I want you to scale on the X, you stupid ass cone. Scale that way. Fine, we'll move back to that. Moving back to component space, I'm scaling it on the Z. And then grabbing in the middle and scaling up. And then scaling on the Z a bit more. And look at that, ain't that a beautiful flashlight? And then we're gonna add a spotlight, maybe. What other lights do we have? Yeah, spotlight. And I'm just gonna move that out to in front of it. And maybe make its radius smaller. There we go. Oh, cone angle. That's what I want. Make that more like a 30 degree. Cool. And then we'll set that back to our 1000 so we actually get some distance off of it. Okay. So we've got a flashlight. Then on here, we'll do a... Actually, we're not going to do anything there yet. We are going to go to our interface. So on our interface, we're going to add some new things. Our first one, I'm going to rename. And our first one is going to be called interact underscore focus start. Then interact underscore focus end. I completely missed the T in the first one. Good job, me. There we go. And then interact underscore use. Okay. So, how are we going to make this work? So on our flashlight, we're going to get rid of all these. We are going to do interact focus start, and we see we get the, oh, that's not what we want. Interact focus start and end. So instead of calling function, we want to add event. We want interact start. We've got these events now. And focus end event. And then use event. Event interact use. Perfect. Okay. Compile and save. We're gonna build this into our player now. If we go to our character player, go to our viewport, we need something to tell it to start interacting or not. So we're gonna add a component. We're going to add a sphere collision, sure. Put it down near our feet. And scale her on out. Why not? Actually, we don't need to do that. We should do it the proper way. Set the radius of the sphere. So let's say we can pick up things 1.5 meters away from us. So 150 units. So if anything's in that area, we'll be able to pick it up. Cool. Do we want it just in front of us? I think that's better for a horror game, so we're gonna put this as 75. And put it just in front of us, like that. So we have to be looking at it to pick it up. Ah, how's that? Compile and save. Then, on our event graph, we're gonna select our sphere and scroll down in the details panel. And let's do an on component begin overlap. And we're going to do a sphere on component end overlap. We've got end overlap there. Where's our begin overlap? Did it just like put them on top of each other? No. Sphere. Begin overlap. Where are you? Oh, you went on the input thing. So we're going to cut. And we're going to put it on the event graph. Paste. Control V. There we go. So, on component begin overlap, we are going to other actor. And then we are going to interact focus start. Send a message to it. And this is sending a message through that interface, so if the actor doesn't have it, that's fine. It does nothing. But the actor does have that interact component on it, the interact interface on it, it will do something. And then on end overlap, we're going to get other actor and interact focus end. Okay. Let's go to edit project settings and input, because we're gonna need, we have a blink button, but we're gonna need an interact button. Interact. And I'm gonna make that E for me. E. And then I'm gonna do another one for flashlight. Gonna make that F for flashlight. Ooh, E and F. Cool. Cool. So we have our end focus. We have our interact focus start. Cool. And then on our focus start, we're gonna want to save this actor. So we're gonna promote to variable. Call this interact target. Plug that right in there. And then we're going to Control C, Control V, and plug it in here. So when it leaves, if it's equal. So if other actor equals interact actor, then branch clear it. This is just in case we have multiple things that we're overlapping. So if something else is our current target, we're not just clearing it when we move away from another thing. Yeah. Okay. And then we're gonna do use event. Come on, where is our use event? I did call it, or did I call it interact? The key binding. Action event, interact. I did call it interact. And then when we press our interact key, we want to get our interact target is valid so that we aren't throwing ourselves any errors if we press this and nothing's there. And then we are going to use interact use message right there. Okay. And that's all we need to set up on the player for that, and we can set up the rest on the on the items. What we are going to need on our player though, because we're going to say they need a key to get into a door, we're going to do variables has key and compile save. By default has key will be false. When we go to use, so we're going to go to our I_interact use, we want to add a new parameter. We want to call this character, and we want this of character player, so that way we can pass that into our things. Okay, so when we start focus on our flashlight, we're going to print string, because we don't have a UI right now. Just gonna print string flashlight in range. And then I'm gonna copy and paste on focus and flashlight out of range. Okay. Let's go back to our player real quick. On our player viewport, and add a scene component. Scene right there, and I'm gonna call this flashlight socket. Okay. And I'm gonna move flashlight socket over to the right and forward a bit, and I want that attached to the camera, so I'm going to drag it under my camera, just like that, something like that. Yeah, file save. Okay. The other thing we're going to do on flashlight is when we use it, we're going to do a new variable, has been used, or let's just call this picked up. Okay, we're gonna get picked up, branch. If picked up is true, we are going to do nothing. If picked up is false, you're going to set picked up to true. Then we are going to attach to component. Attach the root component of this actor to the supplied component. Cool. We want the target to be self, so we want the flashlight to be attached. And the component we're going to attach to is, if we get our character, flashlight socket. Get flashlight socket right there. We're going to plug that in to parent. So this way when we interact with it, it is going to snap it to that part of our player. And we're going to tell it to snap to target. Everything except for the scale, which we will keep in world. Cool. And then for these, we only want these to happen if picked up is false. Because we're not making this super robust, we're making it pretty quick. So we don't want the flashlight to be picked up by the character, and then they look down at their feet and it's like, holy, hey, look, there's a flashlight in range. Like, well, duh, I'm holding it. We're trying to get around issues like that. Okay. So there is our blueprint interface for our flashlight setup. Awesome. Compile and save. Now we're going to go to our key, and on the event graph, do something similar. We are going to do an interact start focus, interact end focus, and then interact use. Okay. So, on interact focus start, we're going to do a print string key in range. And then we're going to do another print string key out of range. And then we are going to, on interact use, we're going to get our character. We're going to get has key, or no, we want to set has key to true. And then destroy actor. So this will set on our character that boolean that we have a key, and then it's going to destroy the key. Cool. That means we also need a doorway. Let's do a new blueprint actor. Yeah, door goal. So BP underscore door goal. And door goal is just going to be a door. Type shape made out of a block. Sure. It is then going to have a box collision. That is bigger than itself. Ooh. If I make it big that way, it gets big the other ways. That sounded kind of wrong. Never mind, I ever said that. Okay. And, oh, I was just grabbing the center. Okay. That explains it. And then what we want to do here is on our box, on component, begin overlap, other actor, cast to player, cast a character player, get has key, branch, and if has key is true, we are going to print string, you win. Okay. So we've got a door, we've got a key, we've got a flashlight. Things should interact with each other. Let's test it. So our angels over there, we shouldn't have to interact with them. We'll put a flashlight down over here. And we're going to put a key down. The key we do not have any geometry for, so we need to add something so that we can see it. Our key's just going to be a cone. That's it. It just needs some representation, right? Okay, so now if we play. Right, I haven't changed my video settings in this project yet. We can walk around the corner and hey look, there's a... I'm an idiot. Okay, so we need to go to our... See, we deleted our player. And we are using the player start, but we need to tell it what player to start us with. If we go to our GM, our game mode, we can get default pawn class, and we want that to be character underscore player. Compile and save. And now when we play the game, hey look, we are now a player class. And you can see the eye hydration going out, and if I come over here, flashlight in range, and if I hit use, come on. Why? Whatever. Key in range. Key out of range, and I now have a key. I'm trying to read property flashlight. So error access none. Blueprint flashlight SQ event graph attached to component. Access none, trying to read event share. Oh, you know what's wrong? We need to go back to our player. And when we use, we actually need to pass in the character. So we need a self reference on interact use because we're passing the character along, but we never actually plugged it in. Okay. Now if we play again, flashlight in range, if I use it, I've now got a flashlight. Ha! You can see it's shadow over there. We're gonna move that on the character so it's actually visible. So we want to grab our flashlight socket and maybe move it more forward, more up, something like that. Sure, let's try that. Yay! See, we now have a flashlight. Awesome. And we now have a key. The flashlight's a little bit useless because of how bright we are in here, but we'll change that in a moment. And we have this nice, like, mazy type place. Awesome. Okay. So let's set darkness. So we are going to have... we really didn't need the spawn folder, did we? We're just going to move that into the character folder because we kind of got everything else there anyway. And then fix up redirectors, and then delete that. Yeah. Okay, so we have spawn box there. we need a new blueprint class actor, and we're going to call this BP underscore zone dark. And we are going to add a component. We are going to add a box collision, except for this time we're going to make it the root. And we are then going to event graph, select our box, go down to on begin overlap, other actor, get component by class, and we want our, what did we call that component? Blink component. Okay, we want to get component by class, blink component. So we're getting that off the character. Then we're going to check is valid. So does this actually exist? And if it does, we are going to set dark to true. And we're going to do the same thing for on end overlap. Copy this, paste this. Other actor, that goes in there. Dark, false. So when we walk into this area, dark is true. When we walk out of this area, dark is false. And just for our player to see things, we'll print string. It is dark. And then not so dark. Awesome. And if we set this up out there, so if we got our zone dark and we put it, say, right at this doorway, and then hit R to scale, and just grab it in the middle and make it bigger. So let's say like this corner area, right here, this area might be a dark area. So now if we go in here, it is dark. Not so dark. It is dark. Not so dark. It is dark. Not so dark. See how that works? We're just setting that, and that should, if we look at our component, if it is dark and flashlight is off, perfect. Then what we want to do on our character is one more thing. We are going to, on our input, use our flashlight button. Action events, flashlight. We are going to, when we press get flashlight, get attached, get attached actors. Okay, so this is anything attached to us. And we're going to for each loop. Okay, and then for each loop, we are going to cast to flashlight, cast to BP flashlight, get spotlight enabled, no. What is that called? So we're gonna go back to our flashlight, grab our spotlight, and there should be an on or off. I'm pretty sure it's just enable, disable. No? Is it just visibility? It can't be just visibility, is it? Okay, looks like visibility. Okay. Go back to our player. Spotlight is visible. And then we are going to set visibility to not whatever it last was. And we are going to get our blink component, set flashlight to whatever our new visibility is going to be. There we go. So now when there's a flashlight attached to us, when we hit flashlight, get all those attached actors, say, hey, are any of these flashlights? If so, is your spotlight visible? Do the opposite thing. Set that on our blink component and set the visibility. So let's see if that works. So if I pick up the flashlight, come on. And I hit F. Turns it off, turns it on. Turns it off, turns it on. Awesome. That's working. Awesome. Cool. I say that surprisingly, but I totally knew this was going to work. Okay, now we are going to play with random stuff. So let's kill the flashlight and kill the key. We are going to set the door somewhere. So the exit door will be back in this corner. So to win the game, we need to get back to this corner. Okay. So then we are going to go to our game mode. And we're going to do a variable. We're going to call this actors to spawn. And this will be it'll be an actor, but instead of an object reference, it's going to be a class reference. And it's going to be an array. Cool. And then we are going to, from that, on event begin play, we are going to get all actors of class. Okay. And then of class, we want our spawn box, BP spawn box. Then we are going to get our actors to spawn for each loop. So for everything in this actors list, we are going to do a random integer in range. The minimum will be 0. The maximum will be the length of this vector. So how many things are in it? Actually, no, we don't want length. We want last index. So between the first and the last items in here. We are then going to get whatever is at that random number. We're going to get actor location. And then from here, we are going to spawn actor from class. And the class will be whatever's in this list. And the location will go in there. So this will choose a random spot to spawn whatever is in this list. And in this list, we're going to compile and save. In this list, we're going to add flashlight. And we are going to add key. Maybe let's make it easier for the players and add another flashlight. We compile and save that. This should spawn 2 flashlights and a key. So, if we come here, and instead of hitting play, hit simulate, we should see there's a flashlight, and there's a key. Now, if we stop and we hit simulate again, we now see there's a flashlight, and there's a key. And it will do that each time. For everything in our list, grab a random spot, and it will make it, it'll spawn one of our things there. For everything, it'll find a random spot for it. So yeah, that is our random thing there. Let's do another random in our thing here. So we are going to, after we set places for everything, we are going to do another spawn actor from class. This time, we want to spawn the enemy. Character enemy. We want to get player control, or get player character for player index 0, get actor location, get forward vector. Oh, not that. We want to get actor forward vector. So what we're going to do here is using which way our character is looking and which way our other thing is, which way they're looking and their location. We are going to set a location in front of them to spawn in the enemy. So let's spawn it in. So we want to multiply vector times float and add that to the location, vector plus vector. We are going to, on our spawn transform for enemy, split this to put in the location. And then we want from this location, so we want a find look at rotation. We want to start from where the enemy is going to spawn and look back at the actor, so the enemy's always looking at the actor when they spawn, and plug it in there. In this, we want a random float in range. And our random float in range is going to be 2 meters in front to 6 meters in front. Sure. And we want this to happen on a delay. And our delay will be a random float in range from 30 seconds to 1 minute. Okay, so sometime in there, it will spawn our enemy in front of our character at a certain range, looking at our character. So that means we want to get rid of this enemy from here, because it's going to spawn one for us. And let's set up a few more dark areas. So I'm going to expand this dark area. Control C, Control V to copy. I could have just done Alt. And I'm going to basically make it cover this whole hallway section. So this will be like your deadly hallway if you go down here without a flashlight and the enemy spawns. It's like, yeah, you're pretty much screwed. The way we have this set up, you will want gaps in between them so that it triggers, okay, you've left the one and then you've entered the other. And then I'm going to do another alt on here. I'm going to rotate that about. And that in there. Sure, that will be our dark section. So we know that that area will be dark. And we're going to grab our light source, because the light source is like our sun. And our light source is currently pointing this way. We want to take it and make it point more dark-like. Maybe make it almost night. And then we're going to get our skybox, sky sphere, refresh material. There we go, we've got the nice orange light. And then, skylight, which is like atmospheric light. I want to set intensity scale to like 0.2, maybe, something like that. And then just gonna do a quick build lighting only. Whoa, we're waiting. How's your night going? My night's going fine. I'm gonna drink some water. Yay, we have lighting built. No, we don't. Oh, sorry, it was a. Ooh, that is Okay, so we're going to when we spawn this, we are going to do a quick print string. You know what? Hello seems perfectly reasonable for this, but we're going to make it a long hello. There we go. And then we're going to play in a new editor window. Oh. Come back. So now anytime from 1 minute to 60 seconds, there is going to be an enemy spawn in. Oh, there's... Nice, found the key. I've got the key. Nice, I've got a flashlight. Ooh. And hello. Our enemy spawned right there. So it might be a little bit too far away. Okay, I'm gonna... Hey, I walked into the door. I got a you win. Yay. But yeah, that is setting up some different uses of random stuff. So getting random areas. Using the flashlight. Using the dark and using the flashlight variables that we set up in the character, or in the blink component, and having the actor or having the enemy randomly spawn in. If you wanted, so I believe the original question for having the enemy spawn in was in a dark area. You could have in a dark corner like these, and like if you set up lights around instead of using the sunlight, if you actually set up lights around here, and then you could have, okay, when they walk into one of these, every time they walk into one, it would do a percentage chance. So you could do a, let's just, for example, I'll do that on my zone dark. So, when we walk into a zone dark and it tells us it is dark, we are going to Boolean, no, sorry, I want random bool with weight. Okay, so 50% is 50% chance. Or 0.5, 50% chance. So let's put it like 20%. Let's call it 30%. And we're going to branch. And then we'll do a print string spawn enemy. We'll just say, so this would be if you entered one of these zones, there's a 30% chance it spawns an enemy. And you might want to check that it hasn't already spawned an enemy or something like that. But just for funsies, we're going to go here, we're going to walk in, and it's dark. It's dark. It's dark. It's dark. It's dark. Oh, and it would have spawned an enemy on that last one. And it would have spawned an enemy on this one. And it would have spawned an enemy on this one. Not that one. Yes, this one. And on that one. So it would have tried to spawn an enemy a couple of times on me. I'm just gonna wait here until the enemy shows up now. Oh, there he is. Hello. Gonna quickly blink. Oh. Go away! I flash me light at you! Roar. But anyway, that is the extension of the Weeping Angel. Hope you all enjoyed. Again, as you have questions, feel free to ask. If you want to support me, again, there is now a Patreon set up. The link is in the description, patreon.com/ToadNet. And you can support me starting at just $1 a month, and you do get access to all these project files. Please leave your suggestions and requests, as always, and if it's something I feel I'm interested in, I will get to it. Not always this quick, but eventually. I do things, sometimes. But anywho, that's it for me. Thank you again for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Yes, I need to save all my things. Yeah, you don't need to see me package this up in a zip and upload it, so goodbye.